religious controversy. The religious controversy really stems from the fact, what's your religion? What's your nationality? And we as a people should understand the depth of what's your nationality, what's your religion. It goes way back before Prophet Noble Ali came. When the slaveholder beat Kula Kinte and made him Toby. When he told the Negroes on the plantation, you can't say your own name, your own language. Then he divided us from our religion, became the controversy. Since that time, we've been running around the people trying to say what our religion is on our own, like we know better. But what we actually been doing is switching from one slaveholder to another. We go from Christianity, from Judaism. The Jews sold us into slavery. They came out of Egypt, and it tells you in the Bible, in Leviticus, that they're going to slave the people that came out of Egypt with them. Then if you get into Christianity say we're cursed people. From Ham, we're cursed people. Then when you get into Islam, they tell you Muhammad's the last prophet. And while they hold the Quran up in there and say Allahu Akbar, they had their foot on our neck. They held us in slavery in Arabia up to 1962. Now I had some people tell me, well, Brother Roy, you know the original Arabs, they were black, they was Moors. Now I have to tell them you a lie. The original Arabs was not Moors. It's impossible. It's so impossible that I put up the scripture. Psalms 83 verse 6. It says the Ishmaelites on the land of the Moabites. It didn't say the Moabites on the land of the Ishmaelites. So the Ishmaelites are descendants of Ishmael, who descended of Ibrahim through Hagar. So they let you know they had to be on our land. We was never on their land. Now, as occupying authorities, they've changed the history of our people. So now we believe in order to be Islamic, we gotta speak Arabic and dye beards red, wear our pants all the way up to our kneecaps and, speak Arabic. What's the difference between that and Christianity? None. Because the Christian gave you a Christian named Joe Bob. I said, Mark, and I have this book here. It's the first and foremost principle of Islam. All other beliefs hang upon it. Now, what do you mean by that? What is this belief? There is no Allah but Allah. There is no Allah but Allah. When man was formed in the dust of the ground, he stood before Allah. When man was formed from the dust of the ground, he stood before Allah. In your Bible, in Genesis, it says God then walked and talked with man and told man, touch that, don't touch that. Go over here, don't go over there. Do this, don't do that. And man submitted. That's his thing. And when man submitted, it was peace in paradise. No harm came to anything in paradise. Animals lived in paradise. Birds flew over paradise. Fish swam through paradise. The creeping things creep up and through paradise. In the Quran of Mecca, Surah 2, verse 30, and it's Allah says, I'm going to read it as Allah said it here. In the Quran, Surah 2, verse 30. And it clearly says this here. The son of Dad, how many times a day I pray? And I ask them, so are you Allah? No. Then why need to tell you? Well, no. What you have is a form of custom. Let me prove one thing. It shows the growth and development of the prophet as an unconscious agent. Mama had a daddy, cried, boogie-doo them, raised heroes. Who we now classified as the saint. Saint Marcus beside God. Sit up in the nation. But he's now sit up and he said, come out of. That's how the Bible says, come out of. Do not partake of Babylonian food. Do not partake of Babylonian custom. Do not take of nothing of Babylon. And I remember I said, little brother, it was what?
Still talking, ain't it? 100, celebrating 100 years. Islam, 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 Islam. I rise giving perfect praises to Allah. Honor to his holy prophet. Allah in the person of us. Prophet Juali, the most noblest of us all. Islam, Islam, Islam. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. This is a happy day. Woo! You know, we start off this Sunday right. Now we're going to close it off right. This is called If the Truth Be Told. You know, it seems like we here by ourselves, but we ain't by ourselves. We here with Allah. How we know we're with Allah? Because these other people don't want to come on the show. You know, a couple years back, I did something. We went and brought up some books. I think I got one of them here now. That ain't it. We brought some books up because a European by the name of Dr. J. Dorman. Now, there it is. I thought I had it. There you go. See, Jacob Dorman produced this book. This book, can you see it?
Yes, sir.
This book is called The Princess and the Prophet. Now, this is not my copy. See, because Mr. Dorman heard about me, contacted me, and sent me, and he sent me his book, signed it and everything, thinking that I was like the rest of these so-called Moors, that I was like Ali Means, that I was like Jones Bay and them people, that I was like Braswell Bay and them. I jump on it. But this is a great book. This is a great work. But I'm cautious. I'm patient. I'm cautious. So I got the book. I read it. I said, woo, this man has insulted us. He has insulted us. He has defamed and slandered the prophet all through this book. Because I say, sir, why is the book called The Princess and the Prophet when the prophet is more important than the princess? Well, he said, when I took it to the publisher, they said they didn't like that title because I had the prophet and the princess, but they changed it to the princess and the prophet. I said, oh, you let somebody change the title of your book and stuff? I said, okay. So anyway, I said, sir, would you come on my show? The truth be told. He said, yeah, I come on your show. I said, okay. So what I did was, I dig deep down in my own pocket and ordered these books. I said, I ordered them books. To your so-called supreme grand sheiks and grand governors and imams, whatever you want to call them today. I say, listen, brothers, on my show, we're going to discuss this issue about this man saying the prophet was a bigamist, the prophet was a liar, the prophet hid out, the prophet did so many ungodly things as a prophet. If Moses done anything this Jewish said, you would not know about Moses today. So, I sent the letters out. I paid for the books, myself personally. Made sure everybody got their book. I said, brothers, we're going to do this show next month. I need for y'all to read the book. And then, don't tell me your opinion. Wait till you come on the show and give your honest opinion about the book. Okay, Mo, okay. The show came up, none of them was on the phone. Now, none of these Supremes and Grands and Hula Doodles and Sultans and whatever. Now, one of them showed up on the phone. Only two brothers, the twins, the Allende brothers, showed up on the show, and my members. Now you would wonder, with all this, I'm putting an iron wall around the prophet's teaching. I'm going to hold the prophet up and let nobody slander and defame the prophets. None of them people showed up. None of the people you think would defend the prophet's character showed up. Think about that. None of them. These brothers, let me show you. I think I got the thing down here. Let me see if I still got one. So I can just show it. Man, I thought I still had one down here. No, I don't have one. Anyway, what I was looking for those of y'all that's Moorish Americans, please look up the Prophets Convention of 1928, where you see him standing with the other Moors in front of 3140 South Indiana Avenue. Look at the picture. Now, you see the prophet, and there's a sister between the prophet and that trader, Lomax Bey. Now, the sister between the prophet is supposed to be both of their wives. It's supposed to be the wife of the prophet and the wife of Melil. Now, the woman between them, at this time, Sister Lomax Bey, Mimi Lomax Bey, was supposed to have been the prophet's secret wife. That from 1913 to 1920-something, the prophet was married in Chicago, and that she wrote a death certificate. They hooked up a death certificate that said the guy that the prophet was back then is dead. That he died during their marriage. Woo, woo, woo. And so then she turned around. Now the prophet come back as a prophet. When he left Chicago in the disguise that this guy said, this Dr. Dorman said, Jacob Dorman, he said that the prophet and the woman conspired, put up a death certificate for him, and she went off later on and married Lomax Bey. So she married Lomax Bey and became Miss Lomax Bey. Now in 1920, you see this convention picture. That's who he said is the sin with the sister. Think about that. This man now says the prophet is a bigamist and a liar because he deceived the American government, telling him he was dead. And Ali Means went for that. Listen, he got a whole part in here. Pardon me, I didn't go look for it. He got a whole part in here where Ali Means give all the credit up. That he said how he gave them credit because they were so stern that Ali Means, they backed up everything I said. Ali Means. Without Ali Means, this book wouldn't be possible because Ali Means agreed to everything that I said here as being truthful. Of researchers, writers, and lecturers from within the Moorish movement by the way of the Moorish Science Temple of America. A non-profit organization. They say, let's get some more information about this. Let me see some more information. They got 1,000, let me see, let me get it straight. They got 1,356 members. Woo! They got 1,356 members. This is what it says. Ali Means are a non-partisan with respect to any individual grand body group of researchers, writers, and lecturers from various grand bodies within the Moorish movement by the way of the Moorish Scientific America. The purpose of Ali Means is to research, develop, and present cutting-edge material for the defense of the gospel of Ali, the propaganda of the faith of Muhammad, and the furtherance of the original program of Prophet Noble Jew Ali, thereby assisting all portions of the Moorish movement towards these ends. Our means to accomplish this include and will not be limited to research, papers, lectures, publication online and print. Woo. They got 1,300 and some odd members. Such people as my ex-member, Lorenzo McCoy. Toucan Harry. Roger Brewerton Bay. Brother A. Hopkins Bay and his family and other members. Wow. Well, they supported this disgraceful, slanderous works of this Jewish European. I have to say what his goals are, who he is. He's a Jewish scholar, doctor, professor. He said it took him 7 years to get this information. So anyway, y'all can go on our show and see how he talked and how he acted. But I'm just showing you to say, where are the real Moors at? Where are the real defenders of the gospel of Ali? Where you at? That's somebody tell me. What I can find. Let me look at John the Baptist. What did John the Baptist do? Anybody know anything about John the Baptist? Life Works. I don't want to get that one. Let's see what John said and did. Now, back in those days, when you became an adept, you had to go into seclusion and study. Jesus did it for 18 years. John the Baptist did it for 18 years. So, now, the ministry of John the Heartbringer. Y'all don't know who that is because y'all ain't got no Quran and y'all ain't gonna say nothing bad about nobody. Let's see what John did. Because everything in my Quran I can imitate to the best of my ability. And this is what it says. It came to pass when John, the son of Zechariah and Elizabeth, had finished all his studies in Egypt school, he returned to Hebron, where he abode for certain days. And when he sought the wilderness and made his home in David cave, where many years before he had been instructed by the Egyptian sage. I want y'all to remember that thought, David cave. Then I want y'all to go look up Muhammad. Prophet Muhammad, what cave did he hide in? What was that cave called? I'm going to show you just how well connected our prophet thoughts is. It says the cave of David. See what cave Muhammad hid in that the spider threw up the spider web on the day's claim so suddenly that the people said he couldn't have been here because this is a new spider web. How the hell you know a new spider web from an old spider web? And it says, oh man, you can lay down, come on. And it says, some people called him the hermit of Igya. Others said he was a wild man of the hill. He clothed himself with skin of beast. His food was carberry, honey, nuts, and fruits. When John was 30 years old, he went into Jerusalem. Okay, what did he do in Jerusalem? He went into the marketplace and sat silent for 7 days. Common people and the priests, the scribes and Pharisees came out in multitude to see the silent hermit of the hill, but none was bold enough to ask him who he was. Oh, so John is silent for 7 days. Then it says, when his silent past was done, he stood forth in the midst of all and said, behold, the king has come. The prophet told him, he's the wise, and the wise men long have looked for him. Prepare, O Israel, prepare to meet your king. And that's all he said. He disappeared. No one knew where he had gone. Now, I mean, y'all ain't thought about that. Then go to another verse. There's great arrests all through Jerusalem. The rulers heard the story of the hermit of the hill, and they sent couriers forth to talk with him, and they might know about the coming king, but they could not find him. After certain days, he came again, and Margaret came to hear him speak. He said, be not disturbed, your rulers of the state. The coming king is not an antagonist. He seeks no place on earthly throne. The eyes of men shall see it not. None shall enter but the pure in heart. Oh, prepare, Israel, prepare to meet your king. Now, for those that are biblical studies and students, you know that John said more than that. That John challenged the king. Talking about how he slept with the harlot. He slept with his brother's wife. He wanted his brother's daughter to dance for him. You know all that. That's a biblical story. So that shows you how foul it was back then. And guess what? The man of God said it. So what I want y'all to do, all y'all Christianized Moors, I want you to tear that chapter out. And I want you to go into your Bible, tear everything out about John. Then what I want you to do, I want you to go back in your Quran. And I want you to tell every chapter where Jesus said something against the people. When Jesus told them, what about killing animals? You should take that out. Because that's radical speaking. Oh, you should take that out. Y'all should take out almost everything. Your Quran would be the chapter such and such. Then missing chapter 44, 43. Y'all be missing all those chapters. Why? Because y'all don't play them no mind. Because they're radical. Because he spoke against the powers that be. He spoke against the people. He challenged the Jewish authorities of his time. And then why they got rid of Jesus? So I want y'all to tell me why y'all scared to talk up. Who made y'all afraid to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? When did the prophet start raising punks and faggots for leaders and heads of temples? Y'all tell me that. Y'all scared to even tell your leader they wrong. I remember me and the brother was talking one day, and the brother said something. I said, well, I can't book the law. That's the law. If what you're saying is the law, I got to go for it. Because I'm not going to argue with you about the prophet's law. Brother said, but you curse. I said, it's better be hitting you in your head. I'm not saying I'm right. But I said, sometimes y'all open your mouth, y'all say this dumb, Eurocentric, slave-holding, nigger stuff. I just want to hit you in your head. When I was a gang banger, a gang leader, I used to do that. I remember I went to a place, the brothers had just left there. They didn't tell me they started a bunch of funny stuff with these people. I get there, I get almost jumped out. I had to pull my pips. I'm finna kill people. They telling me what happened. I had to go back and bust that brother in the head. I had a little baseball bat like that there. I went back. As soon as I walked up, I hit him in the head with that baseball bat. Remember everybody you went over there and messed up? Well, man, I didn't think. You didn't think. That's why we tell members here, if you're not an officer, don't talk. If you're not an officer, don't try to teach. If you're not an officer, keep your mouth zipped. Because you're not qualified to teach. You think you're qualified to teach because you see these other more, they ain't been in temple an hour and they already got 100 pages up there. You ain't been in temple long enough. You ain't learned the science, philosophy, the principles, the actions and stuff that go along with this. That's why we have a ministry. And in our ministry, as we begin next year, we'll have rules of conduct. We're going to have behavior patterns. We'll have what they call it, pros and cons talks. We'll have people playing the devil advocate. How you should answer this. How you should look at this. There's an old saying I learned while watching gangster movies. The angels with dirty faces with James Cadden. James Cadden told the man, say what you know and know what you say. Say what you know and know what you say. Keep your damn mouth closed. Say what you know and know what you say. When we get our temple building made, I'm going to put that on the wall. Two things. Nothing in, nothing out. And know what you say and say what you know. Otherwise, keep your mouth closed. I'm going to have to add that otherwise, keep your mouth closed. Y'all don't pay that no attention. Well, you didn't tell me that. Well, what do you think that statement means? So I had hoped that the brothers, the Moors on the Dean, would come on Tahaka, you know. Y'all know that Tahaka to talk bad about me on all these programs he got, but he never talked to me face to face but one time. And that one time he licked my butt so clean, I'd have to wipe my butt for 2 years. That's how clean it stayed. He got all the follicles out my butt, kissing it. He didn't challenge all my fake members. He didn't challenge. He had Sharif up there, and he had his other brother up there that used to try to talk. I heard he just got put out the temple, beat up or something. Serious. He left us because I wouldn't accept his plea. He came back from China. I spent over $10,000 going to China, but I can't pay $773 a month dues. Wait, hold. You just told me you spent $10,000 going across the world. You selling shoes, tailor-made shoes, gym shoes, but you ain't gave none of the moles no shoes, but you gave all these model shoes. Don't you know if you gave the Moors free gym shoes, they could have turned around and walked around the country and advertised your gym shoes? He didn't do that. Sirius didn't do that. But he wanted me. I said, brother, what you mean? He said, I got $2,000 card trials. My child goes to a private Catholic school. Okay, your wife ain't in the temple. No, she's the one, she's Catholic. I'm like, how do y'all get these people? Y'all give them jobs, grand sheiks and stuff. They can't even get their wife in the temple. Think about that. You can't even get your damn wife in the temple. But you challenge me, but you can't get your wife in the temple. Y'all should look at that. You don't have that much influence in your house that your wife said, baby, if you go to hell, I'm going to hell with you. You mean to tell me a pimp got more game than you? Pimps got women out there dodging raindrops, bullets, getting assaulted. Here, Daddy, here go your money. And your wife got you running out there in the rain doing everything. But she ain't in the temple. And the prophet told me, Leo, he also told his brother Glover, that was the governor up north. He said, if you don't get yourself a wife, I'm going to remove you from the temple. Meet Live got a wife. The prophet said, "Want you to look at that sister." And talking about Sister D. Meet Live. Sister D. Meet Live at the time was Sister Dealer Brown Bay. She was Brown Bay. Now, he said Glover Hill is the dirtiest man I ever seen. Took Glover Hill out the office of Grand Governor. But y'all don't see that. Brother tell you, well, we didn't get married. Allah buying two hearts together. But that nigga lying. Tahaka lying. He ain't even a mo. The prophet said, when you lose confidence, the prophet, turn in your cards, your face, he's weighing yourself, such, and do this. And return to the state that you never left. When I met Tahaka, he was over there with the false prophet off of Carrot Street. Sweating. Y'all even see where he did an interview with the false prophet off of Carrot Street. And the false prophet told him, I made you. He has never had an actual nationality card from an authorized Moorish American. And y'all, now we didn't know about temples. Anyway, what's wrong? This is the truth be told. Think about that. If the truth be told. I want y'all to really contemplate your. You finding brothers that got girlfriends. You finding girlfriends that got baby daddies. Hey, now where's the structure of your family structure in that? You got family temples such as the Hopkins Bay Temple, such as the Cook Bays and stuff. It's run by families. They do whatever they want to do. They can violate the prophet law all day long. But you ain't with that. Because all you want is a nationality card. That don't make you a Mo. Go to your temple. I can start in your temple 30 years ago, and I still be hearing nationality order today. We teach about nationality. What's your nationality? You got to learn to love instead of hate. You never hear about Islam. And brothers will fight me tooth and nail. Listen. Back in the end of the 80s, early part of the 80s rather, I started saying Moors, so we call ourselves the Grand Royal Moorish Sheikdom. That's what we incorporated. And under that corporation, we had it where you wore kufis, you had prayer beads, we taught from the Quran, etc. Now, by 1990, it got Moors that put laws out against us wearing kufis, having prayer beads, teaching from the Quran or Mecca, having prayer rugs. Oh, all types of laws were passed. Braswell Bay jumped up and down with his fat butt. I think he lost about 2 pounds jumping down about me having fez and turbans and stuff on. Now his fat butt got turbans. Kufis. He trying to teach from his mouth because he can't teach from the Quran. Bel-Hill, I told this to Bel-Hill in his face 2018, 2019. I said, Bel-Hill, y'all passed a law. You passed a law. You have passed a law against me for having kufis on, prayer beads, prayer rugs, and teaching from the Quran. What did his members have on, Governor?
Kufis, prayer beads. They even had prayer rugs.
Wait a minute, but he didn't say I was lying, did he?
No, he did not.
I said, y'all passed better. Listen. Edwin Hill, he was over there with Jones Bay. He know the man said you can wear kufis and stuff. You can have prayer rugs of preach. But we was doing it here. Now guess what? After almost 40 years, now you see everybody with kufis on. How did that happen? Now, but ain't nobody telling you who started it. What happened? See, I've been here that long. Look at all my enemies, they dying off, having strokes, going through mental changes. Y'all better wake up and smell the coffee. So we're going to continue with the truth be told every other week. So every other week we have is a truth be told segment. And we'll come up with topics. I look on y'all websites to find out what I should talk about. See? And once I find out what I should talk about, then that's what I'm talking about. Right now it's Ali Means. And this guy that had Ali Means, Sharif, when I met him, he was talking about Benjamin Banneker. He wasn't even in the temple. Think about that. I'm the one that brought him to the temple. He was talking about Benjamin Banneker. He was sneaking, taking people in the woods, putting the Quran on top of the Bible, making them Masons. I stopped all that with him. He tried to act like he knew the law. I bust him out with the law. I beat him so bad with the law, he surrendered. But I don't get no credit for that, but that's all right. I know what's no. I know what to know. So we're going to close out at 9. Anybody put anything up there, Mo?
Questions?
Any questions?
Nope, just the usual greetings.
So the Moors are on the Dean did come up there?
Don't see them. Nope.
Moors on the Dean didn't show up?
They're not on their dean today.
They're not on today, huh? You know, this channel's opened up. You can post up on our website, and we will talk and debate with you about subjects. Now, I say debate because in Islam, we're taught to use the best of things to discuss issues. So if we debate with anybody, we're going to use the best that is to debate with. That's going to be the Quran, questionnaire, divine constitution, blah, blah. Everything the Prophet brought, Muhammad brought, and what the Jews brought. I went downtown here in Atlanta one day. Boy, they had the Muslims, everybody, the so-called Israelites with the little purple things on, the gold trim hanging from them. Oh, they was running everybody away. I was just looking at them. Then nobody stopped me and asked me a question. Only person I got a question asked about was Dr. York's people one time. And they said, well, brother, I said, brother, you can't tell me nothing because I read his book. What book you read? What is the more say? Who is Prophet Noble Jolly? Well, more, I know, brother, I don't carry that book around me. I don't carry that trash around with me. I got it in my house in the garbage selection. I said, you hollering and screaming, that man homosexual. He wasn't a homosexual. They lied. I said, then why he's confessed? He stood in the courtroom and said, yes, I molested the little boys and girls. He stood up and said he got the, and he copped out. He thought he was copping out for 15 years, but the judge gave him 318 years. He said your crime was so filthy. You raped little boys and girls. And y'all people went for it. Listen, I know the man well. Listen, the man sent me this Quran. His Quran. I was in California. I got a call from my post office. And the guy said, well, you know, Mr. Real, you have some mail there. I said, what? He said, you got 35 pounds of books here. I said, what? You got a 35-pound price. I came down and did the package. It was all Dr. York stuff. So when my son, he got put out of his house, his wife put him out, his girlfriend rather put him out. I sent for him, brought him here. And he got here, he tried to teach the Dr. York stuff. Before he got, I said, listen, son, I love you. If I love any man, I love you first. I said, you can't come here and play with my religion. That's what I told him. I said, Kyle, you can't come play with my religion. I'm not going to have that. Not from you or anybody else. So he came and started trying to play my religion. His mama sent him some books and stuff. And the books she sent him was all Dr. York stuff, his Dr. York collection. He took the Circle 7 off, put on Dr. York's Egyptian this and all that. And so as I look at him, I see his sickness. He came to me one day, we was in the house, just me and him. We was in the house and we was going out. And he said, Daddy, he said, Shake. I said, what? He said, I just had an infinite experience. I said, you just had what? I said, you just had what, Kyle? He said, I had an infinite experience. I said, an infinite experience? He said, yeah. I said, what was it? Because I'm curious, because I had them. I looked in the mirror and I seen a man with a black turban on and a beard. I said, wait a minute, Kyle. You said what? I looked in the mirror in the bathroom. I seen a man with a black turban on and a beard. I said, wait a minute. I said, who was this man? He said, it was King Solomon. I said, you looked in my mirror, my bathroom, and you had an infinite experience, you saw King Solomon. Yes. I said, what did he look like? He said, why you ask me that? Because I don't know nobody seen King Solomon. I said, I don't know nobody. Nowhere in the world has seen King Solomon. There's no picture of him, nothing. Well, what we supposed to say, Kaya, who did he look like? He looked like Dr. Malachi York. He looked like Dr. York. I said, boy, you got a problem. I said, Kaya, you can't be nothing in my temple. You can only be acting. If you was a janitor, you'd acting janitor. Oh, what, I'm supposed to see you? I'm supposed to see you in the mirror? I said, Kaya, I wear black turban. I got a beard, Kaya. And guess what, Kaya? When you're looking in the damn mirror, all day you see in the mirror is your reflection. Mm. If you didn't bring it to the mirror, it's not going to be in the mirror. And like I said, I don't know nobody ever saw King Solomon and drew a picture of him. I said, plus, what's that man on your mind? That man that raped your brains. Mm. Now you doing is masturbating what he told you. I said, I can't do nothing with you, boy. So I told everybody, you talk bad about it. I said, no, I told the truth. You told me, you looked in my bathroom mirror, and you seen King Solomon. And he looked like Dr. York. Dr. York in this picture make everybody look like him. Dogs, cats, ropes, the moon, fog, everything look like Dr. York. That's how he brainwash y'all. So then after that, our relationship started falling down. And he started doing stuff around the house, I mean, one day me and my wife was in the house and the phone rang. I said, baby, your phone ringing. She said, baby, I got my phone. My phone ain't ringing. I said, my phone ain't ringing. And we kept on hearing it ring. And Kyle come out with his phone. Oh, that's my phone. Wait a minute. You in my house, you got a phone, but you ain't gave me your number. You know what he did? He got the number and taped it to the icebox. He wasn't even man enough to put it in my hand. So I come to find out, everybody in Temple had his phone number but me. Rockman had it. Mahdi had it. Even the little hoes on his job had it. Because I met them on the street. Why are you so hard on your son? I'm like, okay. So anyway, I come on one day, my wife tell me that he's acting funny and stuff in the house. I said, Kyle, you finna move? I'm not for sure yet. I said, I am. You finna move out now. So I put him out the same day he said he wasn't for sure. I said, I'm for sure. You can't play with me. I'm a grown man. So I put him out. Them same girls that talked to me picked him up, and then what I hear next, I hear one of the brothers say, your son mad at you because you made him sleep under the viaduct. I said, no, some girls came and got him. So the girls, once they lived, he moved in with them, they figured he was a fool and put him out. So he had to go live under the viaduct because he couldn't come back here. So he telling everybody it's a rumor. I put him out. Ain't no rumor. Hear it from my mouth. My mouth to your ear. It wasn't no rumor. I kicked the boy out. I love the boy. But you can't be all that over here. A child's a blessing to a man. He's not no curse. He got everybody trying to learn French. You look at all the Muslims members, all of them got some Egyptian names. Dr. York got them all over there with some Egyptian names. So, I want y'all to think about the people y'all following behind. I want y'all to look up and see who you following and what they actually mean, what they actually doing. You know about what they're doing. My son told the people, I'm the second supreme grand sheik. I'm Allah's minister. He stopped having prophets. Now he got ministers. I thought prophets made ministers. But maybe I got it backwards. Allah made him a minister. Because I remember when I challenged one of his people for telling me that, he said, no, see, he wrong. My daddy wrong. See, when they voted for William Morris and Neal to be the second supreme grand sheik, the people didn't like him. So he immediately had to come back and agree and talk to people and accept Morris and Neal as supreme grand sheik. I said, Kai, can I ask you a dumb question? What's that? I said, me and Leo was dead. Me and Leo died in 34 November. How you come back in 35 and tell them and do that, Kai? You know they took that whole web page off? I wish I was copying it. But they took the whole web page off. Because they couldn't believe he said nothing that stupid. Because they went back and looked. Well, he died in 34. The problem happened in 35. So how did a dead man come back and do that? Oh, that's Kyle stuff. You know, because he see Dr. York in his mirror. Brothers and sisters, if we're going to have unity, we got to do it the right way, do it by the law. And I said this 20 years ago, and I'm saying it now. You can't have unity without us. You cannot have unity in the Moorish Scientific America without the Moorish Scientific America 1920. Why? We the only ones to teach Islam. All these other Moors are imitating the Nation of Islam. Next month they'll be doing their Ramadan. They won't do it with us, but they're doing their Ramadan. This is not their Ramadan. They just agreed to go with the Nation of Islam. I want y'all to remember that. All these brothers going outside the temple to do something they say is Islamic, the Prophet didn't bring it. Because you got to go outside the temple to find it. Remember that. So, I'm going to ask one more time. Any questions over there? Anybody popped up?
Let's see here. No questions, no additional people.
Okay, so we're going to say this here. We'll finish off this month with Sundays, every Sunday. Starting in November, we'll do every other. So we do the first and third Sunday, huh? December next month. This is November, ain't it? So why you say December? I said December next month we do every other week, the first and third week. Then in January we do the second and fourth week. We'll switch it up like that to give us time. So for those that's interested in the truth, nothing but the truth, you can call us. Call in next Sunday, 8 o'clock. Present your proposition, present your idea, present your care, your thought, and let's deal with it. Let's see how viable it is. Because now this smoke that's on the side of this camera that y'all don't see right now, I sent him to New York, to Baltimore, when they had the ministers meeting up there. Didn't I, Mo?
Yes, sir.
And when the sisters had her so-called summit meetings, I sent a brother out there. But she was crazy as hell, Sister Janelle. She came to my meeting and told me she didn't want to be on camera. We said to find out who looking for you. You come to a meeting, but you don't want to be seen on TV in the camera at our spot. So anyway, we're going to work with those who we can work with. And that's going to be limited. Because most of y'all we can't work with. If I can work with people that never been in a real temple under real leadership, then I can work with the man that got 15 prophets. I can work with him to some degree. I can't work with him establishing a school of thought because there ain't but one prophet in the school. It can't be 5 prophets. So anyway, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say Islam, Islam, Islam. Bismillah, Bismillah. All right, Mo, turn it to yourself. We're only going to do an hour. till we have a subject matter.
Islam. At this time, we'll be lowering the meeting with prayer, followed with our fast. All bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers, divine creed and principles. We ask this in the holy name and of the seven Elohim. Amen.
Amen. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah.
Almighty.
Islam. Thank you for being the best part of what we do, and that is to inform, educate, and uplift. We welcome you to learn more about us, join our mailing list, or perhaps you are seeking to become a member of our community. We invite you to visit our website at msta1928.org. You would also find a host of various publications to aid in your understanding about the history and faith of Islam from a Moorish American perspective at the MoorishIslamicStore.com. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to be informed of our regular scheduled programs. May Allah go before you. We leave you in the best of ways, peace and love, in praises to Allah Almighty.